Most people think strength is about how much damage you can do, how quickly you can put someone in their place, how quickly you can dominate a room, and how you can strike fear into others. I think that definition of strength is rather primitive. For most of human history, survival depended on physical power. If you could overpower someone, you were safer. If you could dominate, you survived. Our brains are still wired for that environment. We still instinctively associate aggression with strength. But the modern world doesn't work like that anymore. Today, the people who are actually strong aren't the ones constantly trying to prove it. They're not the loudest, not the most aggressive, not the most reactive. In fact, real strength is usually quiet. And that's where people get confused. Because almost anybody can lash out in anger. It's easy. It takes no discipline, no restraint, and no awareness. If something requires no restraint, it can't be called strength. Real strength doesn't need validation. It doesn't need to seek conflict, and it doesn't need to prove itself every time someone challenges it. There's a difference between being harmless and being peaceful. A calm person who can't fight isn't necessarily strong. That might just be passivity. That might just be avoidance. That might be fear dressed up as peace. But a calm person who can fight, who could be aggressive, who could dominate, and simply doesn't feel the need to, that's calm strength. Fear says, I can hurt you. Calm strength says, I don't need to. That's a completely different energy. One comes from insecurity and survival wiring, the other comes from control and stability. So what actually defines the calm part of calm strength? Restraint. Not suppression, not bottling things up, just restraint. Your restraint will be tested almost every day of your life. Someone disrespects you, something goes wrong at work, you feel judged, you feel frustrated, you feel the urge to react immediately. And in that moment, you have a choice. You can let your emotions grab the wheel and drive, or you can hold the reins. Most people don't realize how much their life is shaped by those small moments of reaction. One impulsive response can damage a relationship. One emotional outburst can cost respect. One moment of ego can create a long chain of consequences. Now imagine the opposite. Imagine a life where, instead of reacting instantly, you pause. You observe what you're feeling. You decide what actually deserves a response. The outcomes are completely different. Your relationships become more stable. Your mind becomes quieter. You stop creating unnecessary conflict. You stop draining your energy trying to prove yourself. And you start to feel steady. Calm strength isn't about looking tough to other people. It's about feeling stable within yourself. Someone ruled by fear and impulse will always be tense, always on edge, always ready to defend their ego. Their state depends on what's happening around them. But someone with calm strength can step back and observe. They feel anger, but they don't become it. They feel frustration, but they don't act blindly on it. They feel emotion, but they aren't controlled by it. They can look at their thoughts and ask, is this worth acting on? Is this useful? Is this who I want to be? That kind of self-control builds a different kind of presence. You don't have to be loud to be respected. You don't have to be aggressive to be taken seriously. You don't have to dominate every situation. When someone is grounded and emotionally controlled, people feel it immediately. There's a steadiness there, a lack of desperation, a lack of ego-driven reaction. And ironically, that's what commands the most respect. Because people trust someone who doesn't react to everything. People trust someone who doesn't need to prove themselves. People trust someone who chooses their actions carefully. That's what calm strength actually is. It's the ability to experience emotion without being ruled by it. It's the ability to respond instead of react. It's the ability to hold power without constantly needing to show it. And it's not something you're born with, it's something you build. You build it every time you pause instead of snapping, every time you walk away from unnecessary conflict, every time you choose discipline over impulse, every time you sit with discomfort instead of escaping it. Over time, those small choices compound, and eventually, you become someone who feels stable no matter what's happening around you. That's real strength. Not the ability to hurt people, not the ability to intimidate, not the need to dominate, but the ability to stay steady. The ability to choose your actions, the ability to master yourself. Because in a world where everyone is reacting, the person who can remain calm is the one who's actually in control. If you're someone trying to build that kind of strength in your own life, that's what this channel is about. Not loud motivation, not fake toughness, just learning how to become someone who's steady, disciplined, and calm under pressure. That's calm strength, and it's something that you can build.